Schöner Cliffhanger. Wenn das jetzt eine Serie wäre. Da habe ich aber auch nicht schlecht geguckt. Na gut, wir haben ja noch eine Dreiviertelstunde. Also fangen wir doch mal an mit dem Fall. Mit dem Gerichtsverfahren, meine ich. 9:48 Uhr.
What? Prosecutor from Karma, you mean?
No, I heard it's his successor this time.
Successor? Manfred von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, all so he could win.
Er hat sie ja sogar mit einem Elektroschocker erwischt. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Until I came along. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be.
It's no good.
Oh, was macht sie denn hier?
Pearlie, you showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
If it takes 2 hours by well, I'm not sure what to say.
Pearlie, what about the train? Huh? What's a train?
Give up. I'm done.
It's time, isn't it?
Ich meine, 2 Stunden Zugfahrt. Wenn ich jetzt mal überlege, wo kann ich alles mit 2 Stunden Zugfahrt hinfahren? Diese Strecke zu Fuß nicht einfach zu gehen, sondern die ganze Strecke zu rennen. Ja, ich renne mal eben von hier bis nach Trier. Mal gucken, wie gut das funktioniert. Stimmt, mit der Deutschen Bahn kommst du 2 Stunden manchmal nur von Seligenstadt nach Frankfurt.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma.
Mr. Eji...
Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend.
Objection!
I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday.
Objection!
Oh ja, das war schon cool.
Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end.
Objection! Objection!
It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life...
Maya, please don't mention that name ever again.
Huh? But why, Nick?
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back.
What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now is not the time to go talk about that anyway.
Nick?
Oh, jetzt ist die ganze Stimmung wieder runtergezogen. Oh?
Court is now in session for the trial of my affair. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared?
Ah. Da ist sie. Scheiße, wie soll ich die denn sprechen? What is with this kid?
Mr. Wright, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me?
Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct?
Hold on, so she's the famous successor, the prosecutor von Karma? Ob ich ihr irgendwie einen deutschen Akzent geben sollte, aber dann wird sie eher lächerlich wirken. Also, lieber nicht.
I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. revenge.
Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? Ja. Ich stelle mir gerade vor, dass das die erste Reaktion von Phoenix gewesen wäre.
If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can.
I'm talking.
Ja, dem Richter gerade mit einer Peitsche einen runtergehauen. Ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, dass das nicht legal ist. Aber okay.
If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me.
Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you.
Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please, and I need something to cool the wound in my face.
Those of von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant Maya Fey will find no escape from her guilt on my watch.
Very well. What is the defense's position?
Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes.
Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams.
Was soll das denn heißen?
10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time.
Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Suck it. Because a plea justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone.
How foolish. If that is how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness.
She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose.
Witness, your name and occupation.
Yes, sir. My name is D. Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct.
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone will please look at this map.
Oh God, we do.
The channeling chamber has no windows and the door is locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room.
Warum denn V und K? V verstehe ich ja als Victim und achso, Killer, okay. Ich hätte jetzt halt ein M erwartet, weil der Mörder und so, ja gut. Victim und Killer.
What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit?
That is quite a look of disbelief there, Your Honor.
Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. That's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over.
Oh Gott, das klingt ja schon mal super.
So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that.
Stop wasting my time then.
Witness testimony, cause of death.
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir.
Okay.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness.
Lass mich das mal eben anschauen. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point blank. Das ist die Karte. Moment mal. Hier stand der Killer, oder? Also rechts. Und links stand das Opfer. Gut, ich sage noch nichts. Mir ist nur gerade was aufgefallen. Ich werde aber einfach mal pressen, weil ich noch nicht weiß, wo das, was mir gerade aufgefallen ist, ich das anbringen kann. Hier wahrscheinlich noch nicht.
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir.
Ja, genau. Self-Defense ist so, weiß ich auch nicht, wie toll man das argumentieren kann, aber gut. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it?
It was the victim's.
The victim? Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start now.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant and Maya face were also on the grip, sir.
Sieht ja super aus. Kann ja nur noch besser werden.
So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
Oh, I walked right into her hands there. Vielleicht hätte ich da doch nicht pressen sollen.
The shot was fired from point-blank range.
Point blank, huh? So, about how far away is that?
It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away.
Oh cool, das wusste ich auch noch nicht. Dass es dafür so eine genaue Definition gibt. And how do you know he was shot at point blank?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country.
Ich frage mich echt, was sie da im Japanischen sagt. Mit ihrem ständigen Fool. Excuse me?
Gunpowder burn.
Gunpowder burn.
When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead.
Well, never do that. Live and learn, I guess. Sollte er sowas nicht vielleicht sogar schon wissen als Anwalt, aber okay.
But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest.
Wo ist das Messer dann, bitteschön? Stabbed, and what was he stabbed with?
A fruit knife. I see, and whose knife was it?
It looks like it belongs to the face, sir.
And, of course, Maya face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh?
This does not look good.
What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death.
Also die Messerwunde, ne? How severe was the wound?
If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand.
His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill.
The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot?
Yup, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools.
Are you... Why do you keep using that word?
A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. I mean, okay, yeah. Does it matter, then, which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the two murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence.
Moment mal, 2 shots fired. Stimmt, wir haben ja auch 2 gehört. Aber das Opfer hat nur einen Schuss. Murder weapon knife. A small fruit knife belongs to the face, bears Maya's fingerprints.
The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
And 2 murder weapons, both of the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case.
naturally.
This is going from bad to worse, as if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme.
Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, would change your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance.
This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. Fuck you, plead not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor,
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
the defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal.
You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Detective!
Yes, sir.
Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike.
Yes, sir. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence.
Was kommt jetzt?
Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya's fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. All right, Mr. Wright.
Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse?
What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Please stop calling me by my full name, it's disturbing. Is it even more incriminating? Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier?
Oh, you're kinda scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that.
This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Maya's costume?
Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her.
Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else?
As you can see, it's covered in blood.
There's blood on the costume.
The lab results show that it is the victim's blood.
Well,
so there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
definitely not good. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence?
Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on.
Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
No, even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Ich find's verdächtig, dass sie da so abgewürgt hat, also sage ich mal press further. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? Genau. There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an object like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder.
Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it.
Looks like my time is up, so about the costume. There's one little thing. Ihr habt es sicher auch schon gesehen. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What?
What are you talking about, pal?
Where's this problem you're talking about?
I've come this far, there's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here.
Take that!
I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here.
A hole?
But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder.
Gunpowder?
No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder.
Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Moment, ich bin gleich zurück. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Okay, jetzt kommt noch so eine Spinne. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Das würde aber ja bedeuten, dass jemand auf Maya geschossen hat.
Order, order, order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else.
Maya's costume updated in the court record.
Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir.
Ja, ich meine, wie übersieht man das denn bitte bei der Polizei? Es sei denn, sie hat irgendwie dafür gesorgt. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Ich habe das Gefühl, das war sogar Teil ihres Planes, dass wir das entdecken.
Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more.
Objection!
How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
Well, I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way.
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. The defendant attacked and killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Fuck you, dann wäre da kein Loch drin.
Objection!
Hatte sogar recht. Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling.
You said that my client killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back.
Yeah, I did.
Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean?
What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back?
Oh, you're right. It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
Right, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is with that how you finished yet, love?
Are you finished yet?
Mr. Phoenix, right?
Miss Von Karma.
It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said.
Oh shit.
They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
No, they will. Why, that's right.
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all.
No. Well, yes, that is true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense.
How so?
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Mr. Wright.
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please.
Okay, das ist also das neue Szenario, das wir auch irgendwie widerlegen müssen, oder was? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Oops. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
Oh.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning? Mr. Phoenix Wright. Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Korean channeling technique, the medium physically changes. Oh, Kaga, das weiß sie. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor.
I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Korean channeling technique.
Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind, let's continue with the testimony. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir.
So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him.
But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad.
How badly hurt would you say he was?
Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Sorry.
While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from?
It looked like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day.
Was, echt? Aber warum? Was hatte der denn damit vor? Ich meine, wollte er die gechannelte Schwester, die eh schon tot war, nochmal abknallen? Hat ja auch keinen Sinn. Warum hat der eine Pistole dahin mitgebracht? War der Handgun?
He got it on the black market about 2 days before the murder.
Warum hat er die dahin gebracht? Das verwirrt mich jetzt. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something?
The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed.
Ich würde ja normalerweise sagen, wenn man zu nah dran ist, dann ist es schwerer zu verfehlen, aber... Na, gut, kommt drauf an, wie... Vielleicht wenn man so vielleicht gegeneinander kämpft und hin und her rangelt. Oh, Moment. Ich wollte zurück. Kann ich nicht irgendwie zurück? Ach, so. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then?
Sorry, pal. Yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired.
Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt.
The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it.
Maya has never fired a gun before in her life.
The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger.
Even me? I wonder.
Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect.
His testimony certainly makes us look very bad, but there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can
feel it.
Echt jetzt? Mir fällt jetzt gar nichts ein. Mhm. Moment. Ah. Doch nicht? Doch nicht. Okay. Das, war es schon mal nicht. Hm. Okay, was haben wir denn? Vielleicht. Ups, das wollte ich nicht. Ich habe nochmal hold it gesagt. Ja, bla bla bla. Ah. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing.
What do you mean?
This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume?
Gunpowder burn?
This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Ooh. But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. Ja, da muss man auch erstmal genau hingucken und auf die Idee kommen, ne?
That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean?
It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Es muss ja das sein, weil wir müssen da irgendwie weiter argumentieren. Auch wenn ich nicht weiß, was ich auswählen soll. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor.
Fatal flaw?
Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Tell me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. Ah. Das da. Wenn sie gerade about to strike ist, also wenn sie gerade kurz davor ist zuzustechen, wird sie den Arm wahrscheinlich ein bisschen höher haben. Ich weiß nicht, ob sie jetzt so klischeehaft von oben laut der Vorstellung von Karma zugestochen haben soll oder vielleicht auch mehr von unten, aber so oder so wenn man in dem Moment durch den Ärmel schießt, wäre die Kugel trotzdem bestimmt nicht so tief am Boden. Das ist ja fast schon irgendwie Knöchelhöhe, wo die Kugel da in diesem Folding Screen drin steckt. Das kann ja nicht dann dazu passen, dass Maya in dem Moment gerade mit dem Messer hat zustechen wollen. Die Musik geht weg. Das klingt ja schon mal so, als hätte ich recht gehabt. Aber hatte ich wirklich recht? Ich würde sagen, das finden wir dann nächstes Mal raus.